Sweet, and we're up and running. So, um, we are 2 players down today, with the third arriving later in the session, but we're rolling. So, where we left off last time was a rather comical interaction between Marcel and Mason that ended off with Mocha bursting in and asking Marcel why he's weird. Unfortunately, Mocha's player is not here today. Although I'm already aware of this, so we won't get a resolution to that.
We would never know why Marcel is weird. Unless we open our eyes and our ears. And pay attention for like 5 seconds.
Opentism joke. There's so many jokes in this can. So we're gonna skip ahead a tiny bit in time to where you guys are on the cart, heading down to Wormwood. With Mocha, Scoria, and Hugmug sitting towards the back of the cart and keeping an eye out to make sure you guys aren't getting followed. So Florian, Marcel, and Xavier, you are sitting.
Is this an open-topped cart, or is it like? Has it got
think
fabric?
like the kind of like oldie style, like your kind of southwestern movie with the cowboys in that. I might be thinking wrong region. Whatever. Think like in those films where they've got like the big white canopy over the top. That basically.
Right. So.
Or is it a big canopy?
An Oregon Trail.
Yeah. There you go.
So we're all gonna get dysentery.
No. But you have Xavier sat with you at the moment, who is off in his own world a little bit.
Marcel is currently basically lying down in the bed, in the bed of the cart with his head poking out the window, looking at the world go by. What does he see?
Make me a perception check. 20 minutes playing I Spy My Little Eye.
Yes. That is 24.
24. Okay, so you notice a lot, aside from the leaps and bounds of snow that is everywhere, on your way to Wormwood, you notice the river, and Florian, I'm imagining you and Marcel are kind of just sitting together watching. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Probably.
Do you want to make me a perception check as well? I will give you an advantage on this as well. It's a sight-based perception check.
Okay. Grabbing my die. Okay, that's not great.
Remember you have advantage?
I know.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Perception. 14? Yeah, that's fine.
14, yeah. So, you notice that the necklaces you threw into the river a couple of days ago are gone. They've been swept away with the current.
Okay.
And Marcel, you notice that there is a swan currently having a territory battle with a goose.
Not swans.
And so you end up hearing a cacophony of honking.
My man is on the goose. They have teeth.
Yeah. You won't be able to find out the end result of this, as the honking rather comically fades into the background as the cart moves along.
The honking is cut short as the swan reaches in, grabs the goose by the neck, and with a sickening crack.
No. No, sir.
Swans are bigger than goose, so I think the swan probably won.
Ah, but geese have teeth and go off his neck.
Geese don't have teeth.
Oh, yes they do. I hate to break this to
They're
you.
birds.
They're birds with teeth. You've been bitten by a goose?
No.
I've been bitten by a goose. It hurt. It hurt a lot.
No, they have beaks.
Tell you what, you walk over there, annoy the goose, get it to bite you, and we'll see if it has teeth. Mason,
What?
geese have teeth, right?
Any particular reason why you're asking?
No.
Well, I mean, as far as I'm aware, same thing with ducks. And you notice the cart slows a little bit as you have taken the driver's attention. So,
He's got a phobia of geese.
what are you two doing back there anyway?
Just sightseeing.
Yeah.
We're watching a battle to the death between a swan and a goose, and I said the goose would win because teeth.
Well, I mean, I could pull up the cart by the river and let you guys watch, but I don't think that's gonna get you anywhere anytime soon.
Want to draw attention to us, so. What if they team up and try and fight us, seeing the bigger threat? Then we have to deal with a swan and a goose.
That sounds pretty scary.
And your conversation, like Xavier has picked up on and the tail end of your conversation is chuckling to himself at the mental image of the two of you trying to throw hands with a goose and a swan. Kind of picturing the scenario in his head. My money is definitely on this one. They're little bastards.
They're quite big.
Which one?
Hmm?
Which one?
But you or the swan?
The swan or the goose?
I just said this one.
The swan.
They're
Okay.
they're little bastards. Well, I guess little in approximation to myself anyway. But. And so your cart journey continues as Mason picks the speed up once more. And you end up
Marcel's just like throwing the stones off out back of the cart and watching them bounce on the road. And betting Florian that you can't get more skims than he can.
Is that what you're doing for the rest of the trip, is it? You're skimming
Yes,
stuff?
that's what we're
time
doing.
somehow.
Hey! I'm just asking a question, I'm not judging. I was
We're
judging you.
viciously competing, actually.
Well, you end up eventually getting back to the town of Wormwood, where you are to go and re-rendezvous with the mayor to go and acquire some of the tools and equipment
Okay.
that he has offered you, and get supplies as well. And you have a little bit of time to explore around.
Okay. What is there to see?
Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
But we have weapons. We're getting armor? I don't know
He has
if we said
mentioned
we're
nothing
getting armor.
about any sort of armor. He's mentioned weapon. You asked about weapons, to which he agreed,
Oh shit, I forgot to
and
ask about armor.
supplies. You have some travel supplies being given to you as well.
Hmm. You like magic, right? Pointing to Florian. Not pointing to
Oh,
Florian. too.
yes. Much. Yes, very
Maybe
much.
we should see if there's a little magic shop around here. Maybe we can get some scrolls, learn some spells,
That would be great.
kill some time.
Mm-hmm.
Roll me an investigation check, please.
Yippee. Both of us? I hope so.
Yeah, both of you. I'd imagine you both be looking.
That's what I rolled.
The new number.
13.
13.
I rolled
And
10.
you got a 10. So you end up taking a little look around, and you end up finding a spell shop.
Ooh.
a little magic store. Hugmug and Mocha have gone off to wait for you guys in the mayor's manor, and Scoria Mason, Hugmug, and Mocha are waiting for you guys at the mayor's place. Scoria has gone off with Xavier. Just so you're aware of where peeps are. So, you end up walking into this shop, and it's quite small, but it's very, very well decorated. There's a lot of little bits and pieces here and there. And behind the counter appears to be a, I guess in comparison to you guys, a rather tall gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
However, due to the somewhat low lighting of the store, you can't quite see his face from where you are currently.
Ooh, mysterious. What sort of things can we find? Any more like elemental spells or anything like that?
So you look around, and you do find there are a couple of spell scrolls here that may be of interest to you. And then you look at the price of them, and immediately regret doing so.
How expensive are they?
And on second thought, we probably should have gone to see the mayor first, and then got the money, and then come back. Yeah.
As you're looking at as you're looking around for different scrolls, you realize that the spell scrolls for things like basic cantrips and first level spells is well beyond your affordability. As for a single cantrip spell scroll, it is 10,000 gil.
Ooh.
And you notice that all of the little signs that are here mention that the items being sold here are at the lowest possible pricing.
Insight.
People ask often.
And there is an authorization stamp from an organization whose letters consist of GGO.
I know what that is, but Marcel doesn't.
I don't know what that is, and neither does Florian, probably. I don't know, does he?
I wouldn't think so. If you guys weren't aware of... Yeah, no. I don't think you guys would know what this is. But each of the price tags are stamped with this marking.
Okay. Is there anything in particular that would be of interest to our characters? Something we'd be willing to try and barter for?
Magical keychains.
You do notice there are a couple of smaller items that might be purchasable by you as of this point.
Okay.
Right, what would be within your range? None of you have spent any of your gil yet, so... Well, aside from Scoria. As you're scouring around to try and find some items that might be within your price range, you find a couple of wristbands, a ring, and a necklace that are all marked at 1,000 gil.
Couple of wristbands, a ring, and a necklace.
Mm-hmm.
They do anything?
Are you looking at the wristbands, the ring,
They have
or
like
the
a
necklace?
little tag that says what they do. The wristbands first.
Of the two wristbands that are there, one of them is called a detox bracer, and seems to give you a slight increase to your resilience to poison. And the other is called the warm armlet, that gives you a benefit, a small boost to your resistance to being frozen.
But that would certainly be useful in the we get caught in the cold again. What about the rings?
The ring, you look at the tag for it, and it's called the regen ring. And it allows you to, when your body reaches critical condition, the item is enchanted to activate and regenerate a small amount of health for you for 6 seconds.
Oh, that might be useful for you, Florian. Since you know, not a lot of constitution.
I don't know. I'm pretty strong.
The
It's not a
last
matter
thing,
of being strong, it's a matter of being brittle. You cannot take many hits.
I don't need to take hits. No one can hit me. Hee.
would you like to look at the last item?
Sure.
The necklace. This one makes you chuckle a little bit as you look at it. As it is you look at the tag, and it's called the Cat's Bell Necklace. Which, when you are below half your strength, so once you've taken a few hits and you are below half of your strength, it appears to rejuvenate you slowly over time until you are back up to half strength again. If either of you two would like me to actually tell you what the description of the effect does, in terms of the DM, not me narrating what's on the tag, I can tell you what the actual specifics of it does.
What does the cat's spell actually do?
The Cat's Bell Necklace gives you fast healing 1 when you are below 50% HP, and will keep giving you health back until you are at 50% health. So, hypothetically, use Florian as an example. When Florian is below 7 health, he will get 1 HP back every round until he's back to 7 health.
7.
Well, it's half.
I have
That's what.
14 max.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, my brain heard full health. I was like, you only have 7 health?
No.
That's only pretty high.
No,
That's only pretty
not
low,
anymore.
to be honest. And how much is the cat's spell, Nicholas?
It is 1,000 gil.
So all about. Okay.
Yes.
If
If you're looking at items above your price range, the bet, like, of the two of you, who has the higher persuasion? So that will be
Probably me.
That is what you would need
I
to
don't have a
use.
persuasion though.
Okay, so you have +0.
I have
Florian.
+3.
+3. Okay, so the best you could do if you were to look at items out of your price range, most of what's there you still don't think you'd be able to afford, even if you were to successfully barter it down.
Damn it.
Unfortunately.
I don't know, what do you think?
I think maybe we'll come back when we have more money.
Alright.
Okay. The man standing behind the counter, further into the store, looks at you both with curiosity, but seems to be keeping a respectful distance to not disturb you whilst you are browsing.
We probably leave now, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you both leave the store. Is there anywhere else you wish to go?
We could go to a library and try and learn more about our enemy. Or we could go into town and see if there's anything fun or interesting happening. Kind of street performers or shows or food. I don't know, honestly.
After we go around, we're going to see the mayor, or what are we doing?
So, from my understanding, you'll be going to see the mayor after you've had your little explore around to go and acquire your new weaponry, supplies, and get ready to head to Birch Nest. Though you will have as much time to do any and all of those things as you wish.
Oh, can I look for like a first aid kit or something?
You may.
Yeah. That's what I want to be looking for. Around town.
So you end up at a goods and services store. And I'm presuming, Marcel, you're going with him.
Yes, why not?
So you end up going into a goods and services store, and Florian, you manage to find a healer's kit, which you can use to create restorative items using some of the medicinal herbs and things you find whilst out on your travels.
Ooh, how much?
It is 75 gil. And that is for
Oh, cool.
that is for the kit itself to make the tools, like make the items, not the actual ingredients to make said items.
Do they have ingredient there?
Let's have a look. They seem to, yes. However, they are interestingly priced.
Maybe because it's winter.
Make an insight check for me, Florian.
Beep beep beep. Wow, so many nines today. That's however much total. Insight. Why do I have a -2 to insight? What? What is this? Okay, so it's 7.
7 total. Okay. You managed to draw the logical conclusion that it is in fact because of the season. A lot of the better medicinal herbs, or the majority of them that do bloom during the other seasons, are in short supply. Thus, their slightly increased cost. And you notice
How expensive are we talking?
it
In numbers.
seems. Let me have a look. It seems that you would have to spend about 25 gil to get some of the base ingredients to create different potions. However, you would also need a third ingredient that they don't seem to have in stock at the moment.
Okay, so that's 100 gil total for the kit and the
Yeah.
2 of the herbs. Okay, so I'll get that.
Okay. So you grab these items from the shelf and go up to the counter, where you are greeted by a two-headed hellhound male with white scales up the sides of his faces. Hello there.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Just these, please.
Ah, of course. Anything else I can get you today?
Do you know when the third ingredient is going to be in stock?
Well, if you don't mind me asking, what you're trying to make?
Um, like healing stuff.
Hmm. Well, let me have a look in. Tell you what, give me a moment. I'll have a look in the back, eh? I might be able to find something.
Okay, thank you.
And you watch as he trudges his way out of the room and into the back room, where you can hear a little bit of banging about. And about once or twice, you can hear him curse in a language you are not familiar with. I definitely know you're not familiar with that language because it's not on your list.
Let me see. Because
If you want, you can roll linguistics to figure out what language it is, but I can't tell you what the contents of what he's saying is.
sure. Oh, that's a good one. Yay, yippee me. Linguistics 23.
you realise he is cussing in Infernal. And at
Cool.
some point, he ends up cussing in Draconic as well. Before he comes back round the front, looking a little exasperated. Ah, well. Good news. You got some of the herbs, and I'll toss them in with the price of the rest. So it'd be 100 gil total. Say, are you
I
any?
hand over the.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, my bad.
I'm saying I hand over the money.
Okay. He takes the gil from you, so you now have 900 gil remaining. 2 seconds. Really, yes. And he
There
flits
goes my
around
money.
gets it all nice and packaged up for you, puts it on the table. Pleasure doing business with you. If you need anything else, just come and let me know, alright?
Okay, thank you.
And as you totter back over to where Marcel is, you see both of the hybrids' faces smiling with joy. Is there anything else you two intend to do, either whilst here or?
There's a few things potentially I want to pick up.
Yeah.
Yeah, just basic, just survival stuff that we didn't have before. For the most part, things like some sort of water purifier, rope, tent even would be good. Lock picks, a compass for navigating.
It may be worth checking what you have gotten from the mayor before you go and spend money on these things,
Okay.
just in case you end up with 2 of the same thing that you don't.
And if we don't
necessarily
already
need.
have it, a map.
Okay. So,
Is there a cartographer's?
yes, there is a cartographer in town. And as you head over to, I'm picturing you're kind of just like half dragging Florian with you.
Pretty much, yes.
It's like, suddenly, you come with me. So
I imagine like Marcel just like sort of kneels down and lets Florian jump on his back.
aw, that's adorable.
So true.
So you go
Do we have
over.
a fishing rod?
Hmm?
Do we have a fishing rod or anything like that?
No. If it is not in your equipment page, you do not have it.
As in on the cart.
You would need to ask Mason about that, who is currently waiting for you, Florian, Xavier, and Scoria at the mayor's place.
Okay.
So you go to the cartographers
Mm-hmm.
and end up bumping into Xavier, who is without Scoria.
Hello.
Well, hello there.
We thought it would be a good idea to get a map so we can better navigate.
And from his bag, he pulls out a scroll. I am a few steps ahead of you.
Oh, okay.
Am I still on Marcel's back while this is happening?
Do you want to be?
Yes.
Then yes, you are.
Hi, Xavier.
Marcel's gonna pet him on the head.
Who's Xavier or?
No.
I was gonna say you might have to climb a bit there.
It's gonna pet Xavier on the head.
Xavier looks a little.
Florian, pet Xavier on the head. You're taller right now.
I mean, with your combined heights,
With our powers combined,
You
we
are-
can harass him here.
yeah, like Florian, you are face to face with Xavier because Marcel is 5'10", you are 3'11".
Boop him on the nose.
Wow, you look so different from up here.
And it is quite a difference, no?
Mm-hmm.
Just don't look down if you suffer from heights.
Don't worry, he does this all the time.
You notice that the You notice the deer man is in a surprisingly pleasant mood. Normally he's not, you both recognize that normally he is a lot more sinister or snappy with you than he is currently. There is a positive glow about his demeanor.
You seem to be in high spirits.
Well, I may have figured out a plan on what I can do with, on what I can do to progress with my, personal goals.
Oh, that's great.
Since my friend has, joined a big guild, he is safe. Therefore, I need to figure out what I'm doing. And, well...
You can stay with us. Sorry. Should have said that.
maybe I will. It doesn't seem like much else to do out there at the moment. And for the time being, our goals do seem to align, so I see no reason why that could not be possible.
Yes. That sounds tactically sound. And he sort of gives a thumbs up.
You see him
Like
smile.
he's trying to be more, I guess, formal and assertive.
You don't need to
And
be
less emotional.
He picks up on this quite easily. There's a slight stiffness to you. No, when you're trying to be authoritative, you have to be confident in what you're saying, even if it is wrong. Saying it with confidence gives less of impression that you are going to.
Geese do not have teeth.
There we go.
Haha.
More assertive. And he hands the map over to you, Florian. Since you are the probably the best with navigation, I imagine that you would benefit the most from keeping this on you.
Yay, thanks.
So,
I'm noticing my trail rations now say 0.
Mhm.
So we should try and get some more.
yes, everybody should have 0
Probably
rations
will,
on them.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Yay,
not
I have a
saying-
map now. You're so quick with putting things in.
Yeah. Well, I gotta be, ain't I? So,
What sort of map is it? Like, how detailed is it?
A map of Lanexian with multiple points of interest marked on it.
so
That's what it says.
as you unroll the map to check it, you do notice there are multiple points of interest marked on it. Convenient. The points of interest are actually different safe spaces and locations that you could rest on the open plains between Birch Nest, Taisei, or Taesug, and Parkvale, with potential alternative routes if Harkvale does not turn out to be ideal. As you notice that he has also marked a potential route going to Palanos. Oh, you're not being really smart. Give me a second. And what I'm gonna do, as much as I know it's gonna ping up and probably bug people, or bug my audio up, and I'm gonna sit there and cry a little on the inside. Bonk. Wonderful. Thank you, desktop. Now that you have a map, I can give you the key for it as well. As Xavier has marked every single city, town, by every single city by name,
Wait, did I just do a smart? By suggesting we get a map.
Yep, you did.
Yay! I have brain cells.
That's a sentence. So,
I forgot what island we were on. I was going to ask for a map of Girathina.
wrong island, buddy. So, Xavier looks at you both. So, I suppose we should head for the mayor's place now, no? Your companion decided it would be ideal to let me have a little bit of free roaming, so I think she has gone up to the mayor's place to wait for us.
Okay.
Cool, let's go.
So you end up heading up towards the mayor's, where Mayor Marigold greets you all once again. Well, hello there again. Lovely to see you all.
Hello.
Hi. So I have gotten your supplies, and quite simply put, they're in those bags over there.
Sweet. Marcel skitters over to the bag. Starts rooting through it to see what's there.
So, in that bag, oh, pardon me, you notice that there is a set of cold weather if I can brain cell, a set of cold weather clothing. Don't worry, I will be putting these on your sheets in a moment.
I'm making a note of it anyway, so I remember I actually have it. There's a good chance I won't check the sheet.
There is a winter blanket. Me having to remember to write this down. There does not appear to be any more firewood, unfortunately.
Is there a hatchet or fire axe for acquiring it easier?
I will get to that in a moment.
Okay. Shut up. Stop being impatient.
No, it's fine. I appreciate that you are invested enough to ask that.
Do not want to die.
It's valid.
Also, one of the shapes on the map looks like Gru eating a loaf of bread.
What? No. And you notice there are 12 days of trail rations. Just update that on everybody's sheets and add the clothing and blanket. And he looks at you. The mayor looks over at you with a neutral expression. So, is there anything else that I've forgotten? Anything else you need?
You described everything that's there now.
Yes, there is a set of clothing for cold weather. Appears to be heavily padded with cotton. There is a heavy-duty blanket for the wintry conditions. And then there is 12 days worth of rations.
I mean, I have a list of things that we potentially might need.
The mayor's mayor's eyebrows raise a little bit. And what might those be?
Well, for the sake of traveling and survival, a rope. a sizable amount of rope for tying things down, for making shelters, for all sorts of things. For climbing, if we have to do climbing.
There is a rather immature smile on his face as he very clearly...
And yes, other things.
Well, let me see. And he goes over to this very large wardrobe-looking cupboard that you realize is a wardrobe as he opens it, because previously it just kind of looks like a section of the wall. Well, I normally take this with me on my camping trip, but it's a little bit, it's not my colour, you know? I'm not a fan of beige. I was thinking of getting it in dark green. And he throws a balled up, like a coiled up length of hemp rope to you.
Brilliant.
So in your inventory, you will now find
Rope.
that you have a 50-foot length of coiled hemp rope.
Something else that will be useful is a compass.
Well, unfortunately, I can't help you on that one. See, I prefer to use the stars. But it seems you have a little friend there who's familiar with stars, so I'm sure that you could figure that one out easy enough.
I suppose so. What about a tent?
Oh, right.
Something to actually stay in?
A tent for all of you in the same space, or...?
Whatever is more efficient.
And you can feel a pair of eyes glaring into the back of your head.
Are they Xavier's eyes by any chance?
No.
Whose eyes are they?
Masons.
You want to weigh in?
If I've got say here, then yeah. I'd prefer we're not all sharing the same tent.
Then
Aw.
many tents.
Plus, I mean... And you can very clearly tell by the look, it's painted across his face, that he's trying to figure out an excuse as to why. I mean, it's gonna make us more spottable if we're all in the same place. More noise. But also, I would like a little privacy.
As long as we can carry it. Especially if we end up losing the cart.
He almost looks offended at the suggestion that the cart could be lost. Hey, my driving skills ain't that bad.
No, but you can't do anything about the weather.
I guess you're right. Well,
And this is coming from a very personal place for Marcel.
elaborate?
The cart that was destroyed in the storm.
Oh, fuck, right, yeah.
So, something that could be salvaged from a cart wreckage.
And this seems to be completely lost on Mason. He's not sure why you're getting why it seems to personally bother you, but he just assumes he's kind of stepped on your toes, as it were. Yeah. I guess get one for what? He starts doing math on his hands. Well, we'll leave a tent for Scoria and Mocha, and then so they can get changed in peace. And then a tent for us guys, I guess.
I guess.
That, or we could do Hug Mug, you two in one, and then me and Xavier in another. That way there's less conflict, as it were.
Do you have any opinion, Florian?
I don't mind.
Well, if we're going to be splitting the tents in 3 ways, can I at least ask that we get like a sliding curtain on the inside of one of those, on the inside of our tent, preferably not being observed whilst I am existing in my own space. Well, and he rifles through this big wardrobe. I do happen to have a few tents lying around, yes. And you basically watch as he climbs inside the wardrobe, and you just see his feet sticking out as he's like digging through a pile of something. No, no, no. Ah, there we go. And he throws a strapped up trio of tents. And I do believe that one of those is the right size. It's got a separator on the inside of it. It's supposed to be used for, oh, what was it? I think it's supposed to be used like one side of it's supposed to be a storage and the other side's supposed to be slept in. So your things aren't in the same space, but I'm sure it'll be fine for those two if that's what you're using. So who's carrying them? Anybody in particular?
The tents?
Yes.
How big are the tents?
Like
how big are they when they're compacted down? And how heavy are they?
they're not massively heavy, but they are like compacted down. They are about half a foot shorter than Florian. They are quite large tents.
Florian, you can carry all of them. No, I'm kidding.
I guess I could carry them for you.
If you'd be okay with that.
And you can hear Xavier chuckle. And, well, we can get him to carry him. After all, he's got to keep all of that beef, doesn't he?
Yes, there won't be much time for working out on the road.
Oh. Fine, I'll carry him.
It would be nice to have a hatchet for chopping firewood, maybe a hunting knife rather than using a dagger for cutting meat and whatever we're doing.
Well, you see, you asked me for weaponry, correct? Well,
I did.
we happen to have a, there is a person of interest I'd like you to go and meet who's actually got your, weaponry with him. Since you're heading up to Birch Nest, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there is a gentleman who happens to, carry the occasional weapon or two on him. And, he's, oh so graciously, set them up in the other room for you.
Wunderbar.
Trying to remember who it was now.
I guess
I've got the
I'll
list
just
in
say
front
the
of
stuff that I had on my list.
Hmm?
So I had hatchet, fishing rod, hunting knife, lockpicks, and trap disarm kits. Do they exist? Lockpicks exist, but
me. Yeah, the lockpicks exist. I would have to get back to you about like disarming kits because you have the disable device skill.
right.
So if you needed a specialized kit, I would let you
Someone's
know.
been playing too much Baldur's.
So you end up being led by Sabrina to the room where your weaponry awaits. Within there are a few bits and pieces that have been set aside for you. It's very clear that this village does not have the means to maintain a weaponsmith.
How big is Wormwood anyway?
Wormwood is relatively large in size, but because of the positioning and location of it, it's a little out of the way of
Okay.
most of the other trade routes.
A little
So,
remote. It's a little remote.
of a fashion. The most consistent way people end up coming here is via Birch Nest.
And Birch Nest's a much bigger place.
Much bigger.
Right.
It's easily twice the size of this place.
Okay.
And so, you enter the room. Let me just double check my notes, because I had written out roughly what I was intending to catapult in your general direction, and I've forgotten it already.
Can I also ask if there's any money in our packs?
No, there is not.
It'd be nice to have some money for purchasing anything we require. Since this man is so flippant and willing to throw money at things.
Roll an insight check.
Okay. That's a 17.
It would seem the moment that this man's general health was at risk, he may have been a little less generous. That and him beaning money at Mocha multiple times may have been the maximum amount that he was parting with. Essentially, he is not feeling generous. Is the general summary you get from this.
It's really funny. The extent of his generosity is how much he's willing to bean someone with to buy milk.
Yeah, pretty much. So I will add these to your sheets in a moment. But within the room, there is a whip that is given over to Florian. There is a warhammer that is given over to Hugmug. There is a rapier that is given to Marcel.
Ooh.
I will code these in a moment, so please do bear with me. Mocha is given a proper battle fork.
I'll be right back.
And then Scoria is given a lance. Let me just... brain cells, please. And you notice amongst the pile of weaponry, Xavier seems to be poking around for a particular item that he does not seem to be finding. Oh, come on. Where is it? There's got to be one in here, surely. And you're watching as he's kind of rifling through, trying to find it, and then he pulls out a great axe.
Nice.
That is exactly what I was looking for. Perfect. Nobody's going to fuck with this deal whilst I have this. Brilliant. Well, that seems to have gone rather well. Give me a moment to just pop these into your sheets. And whilst you're waiting for me to do that, you notice that Xavier starts nonchalantly kind of swinging this great axe around, as though he's testing the weight of it. This could have a bit more force to it, but I will accept it. It is sufficient. Perfect. Anyway.
Maybe I can modify it later on and get a bit more weight out of it.
I might take you up on that little mouse.
Florian, what did you get?
Oh, I got a whip. And I crack the whip.
Wow, that's so cool! I bet you can't whip this out of my hand. He like points his rapier out.
Of course, I'm gonna try.
Okay, so roll will be a dexterity check to disarm.
Dexterity check. My dex +4. Okay.
Because you have a +0 to disarm checks, so it'll just be dex and whatever you roll on that d20.
Cool. 22.
22
What would be the...
disarm save, so it'd be dex plus it'll be on your combat page. Yeah, disarm bonus and disarm save, because it's a niche thing. It's a bit more of a niche thing.
What?
Literally right there, pointed at it.
Oh, 0. So Dex plus
And
that.
I'm looking for it.
Yes. So Dex plus 0.
There
So
it is.
So
it's 22 versus
20.
you are
Successful.
disarmed.
Ah,
So Florian cracks the whip, and you flint. You end up flinching at how close it gets to your hand. How close the tip of the whip gets to your hand, and you drop the weapon.
Ah! Oh, that's...
ah. I think I win the bet.
That was perfect.
You do. And do you know what you win? And he flicks him very gently on the nose. Who wins that?
Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you are quite done with testing your equipment, I would politely ask that you exit stage left, as it were. I have a meeting to attend, and it is being held in the office you are currently standing in.
What's his name anyway?
What, the mayor?
Yeah.
Do you
We
want to
asked
ask
his
him?
name.
You've never asked his name. You know him as the Mayor Marigold, and that's it.
Sorry, Miss Mayor Marigold. What is your name?
Oh, the name's Cal. Cal Marigold.
Cal. Okay. It's in there. Give him hell, Cal.
Before we leave, I go up to Sabrina. And go. Oh, I made you a necklace. I sewed a little star. In case you miss me. You because I've got stars all over my clothes. So, like a little piece of me. And I give it to her.
And she looks very happy with the gesture. Looking at it. Of course, I will treasure this. I will treasure this like nothing else. Thank you. And she ruffles your hair.
You're welcome.
Sorry, I'm being a little slow.
It's okay.
Because I am programming in people's weapons. So that I don't have to do this again later. So I don't have to do this later.
Wait.
So everything apart from Scoria's lance and
So, Flora, you going to ask her out?
You say this in front of her?
No, after you get back.
Oh, after we leave. Okay.
Yes.
What do you mean out?
Well, she seems very interested in you, you know?
I'm interested in her.
Okay. We'll have this discussion another time.
Okay.
And so, is there anything else you wish to do before you get back on the cart?
And we don't have any more money than we did before, so...
No, you do not.
We're going straight from here to Birchness.
Yes, you are.
Okay.
So if there is anything you would like to do before you leave this location, please do so now. Else we shall move along. I shall presume by the silence that we are ready to move along.
Can't think of anything.
Okay.
Nothing I said I was gonna go back for.
Wonderful. Okay, so you hop in the cart and start making your way to Birch Nest. And you get a few hours into the trip and then have to stop for the night as the sun starts setting and you have to set up camp.
Okay. Marcel pulls one of the brand new tents out of the bag.
And you get a little bit of help from Hugmug setting it up. The ladies set up their tent, and Mason gets a little bit of Mason's getting some help from Florian putting his tent up because his hands are a little too large for the more finicky bits and pieces of getting some of the tent poles sorted. Like, you basically watch him try to slip the tent peg into the hole several times and miss because his fingers are a bit too thick. So he has to get your help to basically put the pegs in the right place. A fire is started, and you sit round the campfire with both of the ladies retiring to bed a little earlier. AKA, that's the DM's excuse to just allow them to exist off to the side for a minute. So, sitting round the campfire currently, it's Florian, Hugmug, Marcel, Mason, and Xavier.
Oh, great fire.
It's a very nice fire. Very warm.
There is a big grin on Mason's face. Well, I mean, I've been known to start a fire here and there.
Yes, you make good fire.
And he seems to get ever so slightly flustered from the compliments. Well, I mean, I'm sure there's better fire starters than me.
Don't see any around here.
There is a big cheesy grin on his face.
So, where are we going to after Birchness?
Who are you asking?
Xavier.
You're asking Xavier.
Yes.
Okay.
He seems to be the man with a plan.
He doesn't really have a plan, he's just helping you guys with yours. But, he takes a moment to ponder. Well, if we're going along the idea that you want to get as far ahead of the curve as possible, then once you get to Birch Nest, we'll either want to go to Tasig. He points to that, like, to the location of it on the map. Or we could go a little further, but it is closer to the ocean, and go to Palinos. It would mean we could just follow the coast around to Harkvale. Though that is up to you. It is.
But maybe we'll find Matron in Birch Nest. Yeah.
Hugmug, Miss Matron.
Me too, Hugmug.
Yeah, we all miss Matron Huggy. Well, apart from them, they never met her.
I mean, she sounds lovely. I'd miss her.
She was lovely.
And very good at scorching people alive as well.
Well, no, she's very good at that. Makes hunting very easy. Although it does spoil the meat.
I can imagine.
You know, in a weird way, this is nice. Sitting out in front of a campfire and the fresh air and exploring and seeing new things. I mean, they could be under better circumstances, that's for sure, but hanging out with my
Do
friends
you
and
like
family, having a good time.
adventure?
What was that, Huggy?
Do you like adventure?
I love adventure. Always want to see something new.
And what about I forgot his name. Wait, Sophia.
Hmm?
Who? Is you referring to Mason or Xavier?
Mason, that's his name. Mason, I meant
okay.
Mason.
That's okay. You're more than welcome to break character temporarily to ask a question. It's fine.
I knew his name, and then all that came to mind was Marcel, and I was like, no, it's not Marcel. I want the other one. The other one beginning with M.
Valid. So
Matthew.
Mason has a big old grin on his face. Well, I mean, I do like me some adventure. It's the first time I've been, well, this far away from home. Since my brothers and sisters went off and well, went off to go and live in other places on the planet.
Where did they go?
Well, I don't really know, unfortunately. They kind of just went off to do their own thing.
They didn't even write?
No, they write occasionally. They don't really seem to share where they are. I think they travel a lot. Something like that.
Okay.
And do you miss your mom? Well,
He ponders for a moment. Well, I do kind of miss me, Ma, but I'm sure she'll be fine. Plus, I mean, if I weren't adventuring, I won't be able to explore the world. So next time I see her, I have lots of interesting things to tell her about. Maybe not the same sort of situation, but I'm sure you guys will have plenty to tell your matron about when we find her. Can't be that hard, right?
Yeah.
I
By the end
suppose.
of this, we'll have gotten into more trouble and had more adventure than even she did.
Well, I don't know about that.
Maybe we'll get to fight monsters. I hope we get to fight monsters. Mason, what sort of monsters are around here?
Well, I mean, you saw those leaf bunnies back at the farm.
They're not monsters. They're adorable.
Well,
I mean, big, scary things. Huge, with a lot of teeth and drool and...
I
Oh,
mean,
I'm not gonna want
Dragons?
that.
you want big monsters. I mean, I know there's a couple. There's a couple of scary things that kick around the plains if you ain't careful.
Oh, Hawkmark, no one scary monsters.
Like what?
Well, and he ponders for a moment. I know near the mountains there are these things called alverons. They're like little plant men, and they are terrifying sons of guns. Though they tend to like staying in the mountains, or I think you find them a lot around deserts too, something like that.
And what do they do?
Well, they like to spread spores. They ain't exactly pleasant with that. Or he's thinking. I can't say for certain, but I do know that they are not exactly to be messed with.
Oh,
I'm not the most experienced with this type of thing. It's an adventure for all of us, I guess.
Where's the furthest you've ever been from the ranch?
He ponders for a moment. Well, I do remember going to this one city. Well, I was just a little moo.
A little more.
And we went on this big ship. It went through the sky. And I remember it was raining a lot when we got there. Oh, where was it?
Matron, you've told me where I
Hawkmark,
live,
no
but I
like
live alone.
airship.
Well, maybe we'll see if we can afford one. Depends on whether we're able to get funding by the time we get there or not. Otherwise, we might have to take a boat.
I'm sure Huggy's silver tongue can get us an airship. Everything you say seems to turn to gold, so
I'd look like dry land.
Well, I mean, I think if we're able to scrounge up a few thousand gil before we get there, we can afford airship tickets for all of us, but that's what. You can see him start counting on his fingers. We got Florian, the three of you, me, Xavier, Mocha, and Scoria. That's 7 of us. It's normally about 3,000 gil.
For all of us?
Expensive.
Whoa, no, each. Airship tickets are quite
Oh,
expensive,
it's very expensive.
unfortunately.
What if we just knock on?
I could sneak in.
I don't
You could
think we
sneak in.
could.
I could.
Hugma could like throw you over the deck.
Oh, Hugmug no sneaking.
The fact that
I'm
you
a bit
are,
too big.
and the fact that you are even considering the idea of getting onto an airship without paying the ticket, when you have potential guild groups being hired to protect the passengers from any flying monsters that decide to swoop on in, you would be foolish.
They hire guilds to protect the passengers?
Duh.
Well, I'm not a flying monster, so I'd be fine.
No, but you're a trespasser.
But I'm a cute trespasser.
I don't think that would work. You could certainly try, but don't say I didn't tell you that you wouldn't succeed.
Have you ever been on an airship?
Me?
No.
Duh. Once or twice. They are relatively
What
good.
surprise!
Duh.
How'd you afford?
Well, it turns out when you're working with an assassin's guild, they tend to like to get their killing done quickly. So them forking out the extra funds for getting us places quick is definitely high on their priority list.
Wow.
You notice a little smile creep along the corner of his mouth as he seems to be wowing you with his with the recounts of his travels. Although I do think there might be one way we could get an airship. Although it would require us to be a little bit sneaky about it.
I like
You'll see, and he ponders for a moment, as though he's debating on whether it will be what he's about to suggest is a smart idea or not. There does happen to be a couple of individuals in Birch Nest that I am vaguely familiar with. So perhaps I could try and contact them? I'm not sure whether that would go well or not. Otherwise, we could potentially contact the guild that is in Birch Nest.
Are they associated with your Assassin's Guild?
No,
No. Okay.
there is a guild there that maybe we could get in touch with. They might be willing to provide us some degree of support, but I cannot say for certain until we get there.
Oh. Wow.
What is it called?
It is the Skyleavers.
Sky Reavers?
The Skyleavers Guild. They're supposed to work across Varnexian. Ugh. Excuse my sneezing.
And you have worked for them before?
I have taken up a single mission with them before, purely to kill time. Those to deal with a slightly annoying problem they had with a local merchant causing problems.
Oh.
Nothing exactly special, though. Perhaps, we should get some rest, though. Or at the very least, I'm going to go and get cozy.
We're out in the middle of nowhere, right?
Yes, you are in a small clearing that is sheltered on one side by the mountains.
Okay. How are we doing watch?
I can do the first half.
Okay.
I guess I could do the second half.
I was also do the second half.
Okay.
Do we need that many people? I'm not rested.
Well, I mean, we'll be taking shifts, so...
I only need 4 hours of sleep, so...
He looks baffled. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wow.
I am Parmesian, but they're also fun.
Oh, it's impressive.
Matron said it was called a trance.
Marcel is weird. In a good way.
He certainly is. Right, well, I guess, if you're taking first watch, then me and, I best go get some rest. Can't wake me up in a moment, yeah? And Mason gets up and goes into the other side of the tent. Him and Xavier are sharing a tent with, like, a divider in the middle of it. Which is what, Florian was helping with the pegs for earlier. And you watch as the...
Florian making sure they don't sleep together.
Mason just couldn't get the pegs in there. Couldn't get the pegs in. So, you watch as the lanterns in their tents dim out. So, Florian and Hugmug, are you two taking first watch?
Yes.
And I'm guessing you're doing...
Sure.
You can leave Hugmug to do it on his own, if you wish. That is an option you do have.
What are your perceptions like?
I can perceive.
I have eyes.
I cannot perceive, but I am big.
That's fine.
It's certainly a mixture of responses.
An advantage.
All right, yeah, I do have hearing and smell based advantage.
Okay.
I have smell-based advantage.
Hey, Beth.
We'll be sniffing out monsters.
So,
Sniff, sniff.
Marcel, you end up heading off to get your 4 hours of rest.
It's the odd dusty tail.
Meanwhile, Florian and Hugmug, you two end up basically sitting by the entranceway of your tent to keep warm, wrapped up in the heavy, pillowy winter blankets that you were given by the mayor. And you keep an eye out for any potential monsters or intruders. Can you roll me a perception check, please? For the first hour.
Heck yeah. Can it be hearing based?
I will let you choose which one, whether you are listening
I will be hearing.
or looking. I will not use smelling because there is a wind. There is a wind that will basically blow most of the scents that you need away,
Okay.
and also smoke from the campfire.
Yeah.
Well, that didn't help me at all. I will not be hearing or seeing, unfortunately.
Don't assume you failed until I tell you so.
Well, actually, I do have 15.
That's quite high.
I got
Damn.
14.
It was like 11 on the dice or something.
Yeah, no, it's 11 on the dice. Never assume that's a fail.
I know.
Unfortunately, the 14 of Adam's rolled an 18.
No. No. I'm mean, but I'm not that mean. You're level 2. I don't want to kill you. So anyway, You die. No.
Yep.
So you notice nothing, or like you don't like. I'm presuming Hugmug, you're using your eyes, so you're looking. Whereas,
Yes.
okay, sorry, my brain short circuited and I forgot which one you guys were doing. Okay, so Florian, you don't hear all that much. You can hear from. You can hear Mason snoring from his tent, or from that tent.
Lovely.
It gives you a little bit of a giggle because it's like a deep rumble, and the thought crosses your mind of, man, Xavier could not have picked a more inconvenient person to tent up with. But you do notice there's a little sound out in the snow. But it doesn't seem anywhere near you. And
Does
Hugmug,
it seem quiet?
it's relatively quiet. Quiet enough that you don't think it's going to be much of an issue.
Cool.
Sorry, did you ask me something?
And Hugmug, you notice some movement in the shared tent between Xavier and Mason. And that Xavier's side of the tent, the lantern is on with a very low glow. The only reason you notice this, is because his silhouette is ever so slightly shadowed against the wall of the tent. But you do not see anything that may be a threat. And this persists for the next hour, so 2 hours in. Can you make a second perception check, please?
Do I need to make a perception check?
Yes, a second one.
Okay.
That is both of you.
Both of- okay.
For the last 2 hours of your watch.
5. I am perceiving nothing.
10.
Okay. So, Hugmug, as the wind ends up picking up a bit, and it ends up slinging snow. So there's like drifts of snow in with the wind, so it's very hard to see. Your vision is obscured. And Florian, you're not sure what the hell it is, but you hear like a little, almost sounds like a chirping lizard outside the tent. You can hear its footsteps, and then it seems to vanish off into the distance.
Cool.
So are they in the tent at the moment, or are they outside?
They are in the tent.
Right.
Because because the weather is still quite hostile in nature, in that it is not blizzarding, but there is a lot of loose snow being picked up by the wind. Them being outside of the tent would likely cause them to freeze.
Okay. on that.
And so the first 4 hours of the night go by with no problem. At which point, it's time for you guys to rest, and for Marcel and Mason to take over. So you wake up Marcel, and go to bed yourselves. And Marcel, you realise a slight flaw with the plan of having Mason take watch with you. You don't actually know if he's awake or not,
I'm gonna wake him up.
because he's in a separate tent. So you would have to leave your tent to go into the other tent to basically wake him.
Okay, I will go do that.
So
How far away is this tent from ours?
like 5-10 feet.
That's fine then. I'll go open the tent and go say, "Oi, watch."
So you go into his tent, and you get the quite humorous image of him basically starfished on the floor of the tent, just fast asleep. If you left him here as he was, he would not. You don't think he would wake up at all.
Fair enough. Poke, 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 poke. Poke him on the back. Is he face down starfish or face up?
Face up.
Okay, I'll poke him in the belly.
No, I don't wanna.
You said you would take watch with me.
And his eyes flick open. Oh? Oh. Well, hey there.
Hello.
He sits up.
Come on, sleepyhead.
Is it time to get up, or?
No. You said you'd take a second watch.
Right. Yeah. I might have forgotten.
And Marcel assumed his position.
And Mason just kind of shuffles up, still in his bedroll, wrapped up in that winter blanket, sits by the tent entrance and takes watch with you. So,
It's more take listen than watch, isn't it, at this point?
Hmm?
It's more take listen at this point than watch, isn't it?
well, it's that or sit out in the ice cold storm that could freeze you.
I'd rather not.
So this is the closest thing you can do to watching. So, about earlier today,
You mean?
and you notice that there is a slight tinge of red to his cheeks.
Oh, that. What about?
I ain't had a guy kiss me like that for a little while.
Oh, I'm sorry?
Oh, no, I ain't. It isn't bother. It's more of a. I guess it was a bit surprising.
Well, you wanted to convince your Mima that we were legit. And I saw no better way of doing that.
Okay.
I don't think she was convinced anyway, to be honest.
Wait, what? Really? What do you mean?
Really?
I thought I would have convinced her entirely.
I think she saw right through us.
Oh.
I'm sorry, big guy.
He looks a little bit crestfallen.
And he like holds on to his horn a little bit.
And
Not like pulling on it, but
as you put your hand around one of his horns, he looks a little flustered. Oh, why are you holding my horn?
sorry, is that personal?
A little bit.
Okay, I won't do it again.
Oh, okay. You hear him mutter something in giant to himself.
Don't believe I speak that.
Not. You can roll linguistics to see if you can try and understand it.
No. I'm taking watch. It would be very irresponsible to be not paying attention to the outside.
So, perception checks. Roll one.
Perception. Bitch, have you rolled it? 22.
22. He rolled a 21. So you're both watching. And you can see the little light in the tent that Florian and Hugmug are in go out as they finally properly settle down to sleep. And the snow is being caught by the air. It's being tossed up and tossed around. It's honestly a kind of mesmerizing sight. And after a few minutes, you notice the little there's a little sound, like a little lizard chirping. And you watch the silhouette of a small, well, I say small, a small-ish, four-legged lizard-like creature sniffing around the entrance to Florian and Hugmug's tent.
Nature? I mean, nature or a history?
Nature.
Should identify what it is. Nat 20, let's go.
It is a white dragon hatchling that is currently sniffing.
That's bad, right?
Yes, it is bad.
Very bad.
kind of
Could probably slaughter them.
you take him like you're about. I'm picturing Marcel like his hackles raised, about to jump out to fight this thing,
Mm-hmm.
and your shoulder is gripped by Mason. Hang on.
Like Marcel has like one hand on his blade.
Hold your horses. Watch. And you watch as it snips. And then just heads back off into the bushes, like nothing happened.
Okay.
Bit too eager to jump the gun there. He's probably just sniffing around. Biggest territory that we're sleeping in.
True, but if he pushes too far into the tent and sees them...
I don't think it's gonna care. Have you seen the size of Hugmug? Your sibling's probably gonna scare it off. Thing was tiny.
Was it that tiny?
Compared to, like, the dragons you've seen in novels and stuff, that thing looked like it may as well have been, like, a gecko in comparison to an actual full-fledged
So was
dragon.
it like dog-sized?
Yeah, like small dog-sized, I guess.
Okay.
What you really want to be looking out for are things like wolves. They'll definitely tear up a tent just because they feel like it.
You ever had an encounter with them before?
Yeah, once or twice. I had to kill one at one point, and that was not fun.
That's sad.
Yeah. And he,
They're very pretty creatures.
yeah, they are. And he shows you normally he's covered, like, he's got, like, a big, like, heavy leather, like, loincloth that covers his lower half. And that kind of has, like, he has, like, an undershirt that normally goes over the top that covers most of him.
Mm-hmm.
I think like a tank top type thing. That covers up most of his body, and he's not currently wearing either of those things.
Okay.
So he shows you the right side of his the side of his right thigh. There we go, get my words in the right order. Where there is there's scars of what appears to be teeth in his leg.
Ouch.
Yeah, it's scarred. Kind of pathetic. I mean, I ended up punting the thing into the fucking wall after it bit me, but
Where did you encounter this?
at the farm.
Right.
First time I got to see Mima suplex something and then throw it into the distance. Kind of funny, but...
She is a very scary lady.
Well, I mean, she had me, my seven siblings, and somehow managed to maintain the farm on top of that. So...
And she keeps a behemoth as a pet.
How'd you know about Daisy?
I learned.
Oh. Yeah,
Marcel literally forgets who he learned that from. I think it was actually from Mason.
probably. Yeah. She keeps Daisy up in the mountains because we can't really afford to keep her on the property. Scares the cows.
Well, maybe with the extra funding you'll be able to bring them closer.
Yeah, I hope so. I can't wait to see what Mima does with the place.
I don't know how the mayor's going to react if he finds it. But
Considering Daisy is just a big puppy, I don't think he's gonna care. Might be smothered by being licked to death, but that's about it. Death by 1,000 tongues.
totally tame them.
Yeah, as long as you keep her fed. Second perception check.
Yeah. 25.
He rolls a 12, so he doesn't see shit. He actually starts you notice Mason starts kind of nodding off a little bit. And your eyes are sharp and focused like a hawk. And you're fortunate enough that you see nothing else.
Okay. The rest of the night?
Yeah.
Okay.
For the last 2 or 3 hours. And you notice like the worst of the night has passed and the sun is very slowly starting to rise.
With that in mind,
Mhm.
if the sun's now starting to rise, is it a bit cool? Is it a bit warmer outside?
Yeah. A
So
little bit.
Marcel's gonna pop out of his tent and start making an early start on making breakfast.
Okay. Roll a survival check.
That is a 15.
Okay, so you end up making quite a good breakfast. Everybody, please reduce the number of day trail rations you have by 1. So you should have 11 left. As you start making breakfast for everyone using what's in these rations. And you note
Some sort of muesli porridge thing.
probably and you notice that as everybody's kind of coming to life, that your dear companion, friend, whatever you wish to address him as, has not emerged from his tent yet, or his side of the tent yet. Mason is kind of, if you will, caterpillared out of the tent, just enough to be able to see what's going on. I'm picturing Hugmug and Florian are awake at this point as well, so you got decent rest.
Awake and munching.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Just barely awake enough to eat.
I'm picturing Florian is not a morning person.
Florian is not on top form.
I will get making Florian's coffee.
Aw, that's actually adorable though. So you end up sorting out everything, and by the time that everybody's up, fed, watered, whatever, your dear companion is still not out of his tent.
Well, I know he's not left his tent, because I've been awake the entire time, unless he has performed some illusory shenanigans. Well, we need to start making tracks soon, so I guess I'll go get him. Unless you want to do it, Hucky.
Oh, I can
He
go.
might need a big shake if he's not going to wake up.
I can give him a big shake.
Oh, I want to shake him too. I'm gonna go with you.
Come, Florian, let's give him a big shake.
Only if he's not
Okay.
awake. Don't just grab him and
I'm
shake
getting
him.
a
He'll
big
probably stab
shake.
you.
And so you go over to the tent. Marcel, you watch as Hugmug and Florian approach.
He's got a devious smile on his face.
Who, you or
Me, yes.
you? Okay. The two of you that have approached the tent, you open the door to it to find a rather comical image of Xavier half starfished on the floor, face down in the pillow, with a very large, heavy-duty notebook. Very large, heavy-duty notebook in his left hand, like towards the back of the tent, and he is out cold. He is fast the fucking sleep.
Xavier.
Xavier,
He does not
I'm
respond
gonna-
to your words. He
I'm
is.
gonna give you a shake.
You're
Hugmug
gonna
starts
get
shaking.
good. Yep. Start shaking.
Like
It's
fucking,
time.
like, 7
starts
positive
shaking.
Jesus.
And so,
You shake his upper half. I'll shake his lower half. And I'll shake his legs.
so you grab the bottom half of his bedroll, Florian, start shaking him. Hugmug, you grab him by the top half and start shaking him, and you definitely wake him up. As he startles awake. What?
What's our
Back
matron
up!
used
I
to
will
do?
stab you. And he looks like he's about to attack you with his horn, like he's about to gore you with his antlers, because he's still trying to figure out what's going on. So from his vision, he sees you as just blurry silhouettes. I will fight you. Back up. He's like,
Jeez, Xavier, you're a heavy sleeper.
You are gonna fight me.
and he like rubs his eyes and rubs the sleep from his eyes. Oh, I had a little bit of free time yesterday, so I must have lost track of the time. Oh god.
Morning sunshine.
Don't. No.
Breakfast is ready.
It is? Shit.
Yeah.
And he notices that some of his rations are missing. So imagining Marcel just kind of grabbed a set of rations from his bag to make breakfast with.
Mhm.
Oh. Well, if you two could get out of my tent so I can get changed, I would appreciate that. He's kind of
Yes.
dismissively
Okay,
waving his
that's
hand at you.
And I leave.
Yes, we both eat.
And so, a few minutes later, you watch him trudge out of the tent and just kind of flop down on the little chair, one of the little chairs that you have with you. Oh. Talk about the rude awakening.
Marcel just goes up to him, opens up his hand, and puts a small mug of coffee in it.
And you watch him chug the whole mug from the moment you put it in his hand.
Don't drink it all at
And
once.
he looks
Okay.
down at you. Oh, what? Oh. Sorry.
You'll get gassy.
Did you get gassy from coffee?
If you drink it too fast, yes.
Oh.
You get gassy from anything if you drink it too fast.
Sucks to be you, I guess. Oh, shit, right. And you watch him stretch. Okay, right, birch nest. That's what we're going to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Okay, let's... fucking hell, I don't want to be awake yet. And it's oddly comical seeing the man that is normally, like, trying to pose himself as intimidation incarnate, has the same sort of energy to him as a fish out of water. As he's slowly coming to
not
exist.
one person.
Well, at least you two have something in common.
Shut up, little mouse. Silence. Little shit.
Is he casting silence on me?
No,
Okay.
he's just pointing at
He's
you
just
and
saying it.
he's just telling you to shush.
Did you call him mouse?
Duh. He is little. He is covered
He
in
is
red
not
fur.
mouse shaped.
He's not mouse shaped, but he is little and he is mousy. Mouse-like. Close enough. I shall call him Little Mouse.
What is Florian, an ant?
I mean, he is short, but that's a bit rude, don't you think?
Oh, a mouse is not rude.
No.
Oh,
Does it offend you that I'm calling you Little Mouse?
I mean, and Marcel's just holding on to his very mouse-shaped ears, going, no.
See? It doesn't bother him.
okay.
I see what it is. You're jealous that you don't have a nickname as well.
I call him
No.
Huggy. I think it's cute.
But he is very clearly an orc.
Yeah. His name is Hugmug, so I called him
I'm
Huggy.
very clearly a bear.
I shall call you the Whacker.
And part orc.
Well, you have big hammer, so I shall call you the Whacker. There you go.
I like
The
that.
whack.
The whacker. You've
No.
just made Hugmug's entire life.
And he's looking at Florian. I will have to come up with something for you. I don't quite yet have a good quality nickname.
Didn't you call me Little Kitty or something?
No. I feel like it has to be something that is somewhat comical in nature.
It has to be something ferocious and intimidating to strike fear into the hearts of our enemies.
And the large.
Yeah. Rawr.
I know. Star Destroyer. It'll make him sound like he's a giant, terrifying enemy. And then when they see him, they will laugh because he is tiny. And then they will choke on their own blood as he splashes them to death. Genius. And he seems very amused with his own antics. And he starts muttering to himself as he goes off, collects his stuff from his tent, and just goes and sits in the back of the cart.
Florian, what do you think of Star Destroyer?
It's a bit dramatic.
Okay, let me bring it down a little bit. Planet Destroyer.
I think I have to
Continent.
destroy a planet before I can be called Planet Destroyer.
Okay, we'll bring it way down. Street Destroyer. There we go.
Well, I mean, we could call him a menace of all roads, because balls and I'm not very good at nicknames.
You're a rugged menace.
Florian, can you help me out with these tent pegs again? I'll put my
Okay.
hands up to you. As you watch him try and basically grip the peg, and he keeps missing it because it's like ever so slightly too far on the ground for him to grab it. So he just keeps basically. It looks like he's tickling the grass.
Ooh. By the way, I saw a dragon last night. Pretty cool.
What?
It was tiny. It was tiny.
What?
Like the size of a small dog.
Uh,
But the very dragon shape.
dragon-sized small dog.
Baby dragon.
And what did you do?
I just watched it. Sat there with my rapier ready to strike. As it was sniffing around your head.
No, no. That does not sound good to Hogmog.
Ain't good news. We won't have to worry about it again because Macon should be able to get breakfast today. Wonderful.
Oh no. Hogmog no like little dragon.
And so you start taking apart your camp. So putting out the little fire you've made. Hop back into the back of the cart for another journey. Where after a while you end up reaching the city of Birchnest. It is much more grandiose in nature. You notice that a lot of the streets are swept clean of snow. Mason has to go and find a place to park the car. And it's a car. Fucking cart. And it's the T off the end of it.
It's like a fun plot story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now after the cart's all parked up in the right place, he ends up meeting you just outside. Well, I guess you're off to go and find your clues.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
What's the plan?
But what's the plan? Guess me and the ladies will go find an inn for the night. The rest of y'all go off to track down your information.
Mm-hmm.
Okay with that?
Sounds good to me. Make sure that you bring back some good news, eh?
Yes.
He smiles at you and gently pats two of you on the shoulder. There's a pat into Hugmug and Marcel on the shoulder. Can't quite reach. He has to like lean down to pat Dorian on the shoulder. Now, I'll catch y'all later. Come on, ladies. Let's go and go find us a nice cozy inn. Let's cup of tea. And so,
Later.
Scoria, Mocha, and Mason go off to go and find an inn. And Mason's point the clock tower and basically said, as of this time, we'll meet back here. And he'll basically show you guys the inn that they've managed to book. Which leaves Marcel, Hugmug, Florian, and Xavier. City of Birchnest. So what is the plan for the
I'm
guild
still
then?
tired.
Why don't we just walk around and see if we see anyone suspicious? Anyone who looks like they're wearing one of the necklaces. Yeah, maybe if one of them is wearing one of the necklaces, then we'll know.
Oh, yes, the necklaces.
A presumptuous plan, but I
And then
could...
we also have a guild to go with it.
The...
Maybe we should
Skyrim.
start there.
The
Ask them.
Skyrim.
They've seen it.
The... Well, where do you want to go first? We can go hunting around, see if we can find... Let's go and see if we can find more people with those necklaces. Or we can go up to that guild and see if they have any information. I don't know. This is not the... This is not my venture, as it were. I'm just here to assist until I am not necessarily needed. Until I am not necessarily needed anymore.
The guild probably is a better choice for now.
Well, I will... Just you guys lead the way.
And Marcel just strides off around.
Everybody else
Off
following
we
out?
go.
Asking various people on this map. Is there how local does this map get? Is there streets and stuff of various places? Could we
Um,
locate the guild hall by the map?
Do you want to roll a perception check for me?
Are we right in front of the guild hall? Are you about to say?
Can we use a map? Step 1.
You notice that there are a litany of different signposts around, pointing in different directions as to where the nearest points of interest are, such as different inns, different restaurants, different transport stations, like airship, like the aerodromes, or other carts for hire. And one of them has a pair of wings crossed over each other, and is pointing in the direction of the Sky Reavers Guild, which is about two streets down the road.
We should follow that.
So literally strides forward and walks right at the gates of the guild.
You walk into the
himself unconscious as he does so. Let's go find this guild.
That would be great, but unfortunately not.
As funny as that would be, unfortunately, I did not think ahead for that. So, I presume you are heading towards the guild then?
Let's go.
Okay, so
While we're on the way, I still want to keep a lookout for
of course,
necklaces.
do you want to roll a perception check then, whilst you're on the move?
Unfortunately, you can't hear necklaces or smell them, so you'll just have to be regular. Oh, 17.
17, you do not notice any more, or any people around you wearing those necklaces. You have not found any more people that are associated with this group that you're tracking down. And so you get to the guild after a little while. And you basically, as you step in there, there's like a big help desk. It's like a reception of sorts. There's a lot of hustle and bustle here. There are lots of different, lots of different billboards covered in posters and mission requests and things like that, and other such things of various note. Oh, fucking brain cell.
Wow, this place is huge.
So what are you doing?
The architecture. Wooden stone.
It's a combination of wood and stone. A lot of it seems to be like foresty greens accented with silver. Wants to give off the impression of like a large bird in flight. You notice that within the main reception area of this guild is a statue of Garuda, and you immediately realize why they're referred to, why what the Sky Reaver's symbol is, as it is two of Garuda's wings crossed over each other.
Are we familiar with the stuff?
Aside from Scoria, I'm going to say no, because none of you have actually.
Notices that it's...
Scoria is not here.
Okay, so none of us know it's Garuda.
No. The only way you know it's Garuda is because it literally says on the plaque underneath it that it is Garuda, Lady of the Winds.
Oh, it's just Lady of the Winds.
Well, I guess we go up to the help desk.
Yeah, so you've got a couple of options if you want like if you want guidance on what's here to interact with.
Mhm.
Is quote-unquote plan and winging everything from this point onwards. You've got billboards full of like mission postings. There's the main help desk where it appears there is somebody sitting there. It's like a reception of sorts, and there appears to be a sort of mess hall, so like basically like a cafeteria type thing available to the public.
Oh, okay.
Snacks time.
Oh, yeah, hopefully get our information.
Information, then snacks.
Yes. So I'm gonna be honest, I blanked out there. When you were saying what was there? There's cafeteria.
There's a cafeteria,
There's the
a
information
reception
help
desk,
Uh-huh.
and there are billboards with mission posting, with what appear to be request postings for things like missions and stuff like that.
Can we have a look at the billboards?
Sure. So, Huckmug, you go up to the billboard, and you notice that there are loads of different requests for a whole variety of different things, from people wanting help with some work on their farmland, to monster hunting, to escorting people to different places so they have like protection from any monsters. Just to name like the biggest ones that jump out at you, but there are so many different things here. It's a little overwhelming, but it's fascinating.
Is there anything? Can I look for anything that might be related to to matron and all those shenanigans?
Yeah. So, can you roll me an investigation check?
Yes. Oh, I was hoping I would investigate more, but I do not. 16.
16.
Yes.
Okay. So you hunt around for anything that could be in connection with your matron, and you do find something that sounds vaguely similar, and that is that a person within the city has lost their mother and is trying to basically get back in contact with her. Though it doesn't seem like there's any foul play here. It seems more like the equivalent of somebody's lost their child in the supermarket type thing. But you do. Oh, Florian, you have to remind me if this is the case or not. Who has the pendant slash amulet with the mystery emblem on it. Oh, advertisement. Sorry.
Mm, Gloria?
I don't know who has it. So
I don't think I have it.
sure.
Because I remember rooting through the bag.
I
So
have
that
the
was,
book.
That was Xavier's bag, wasn't it?
You want to check your equipment page, or
Okay, well, I was going to get this.
of course.
I'm checking through my notes. Wow. No,
Unless
I don't have anything about who had it. Just
I can
it was there.
confirm that it is neither Scoria nor Mocha that has it.
No. Have you beat it away?
No. Pokemon does not have it.
No, I was not given it.
I don't have it either.
Oh boy.
We definitely picked it up.
Well then, shall we
Someone
first-
probably picked it up and didn't mark it on their sheet.
If it was up to us to mark it, I definitely didn't do that, so it's probably me.
Okay. Well then, in that case, then
Outside
Marcel,
my feet.
have you joined Pugmug on his venture to observe what is on these notice boards?
Yes.
Okay, so you recognize one of the emblems. It's a mission posting that has been redirected from a particular guild that bears the same emblem of a it is identical to the emblem and the pendant you currently have in your bag, Marcel.
What is the listing?
The listing is a redirected mission from the Sleeping Wolves Guild of a person from the town of Lenfar who would like to be escorted to the city of Birchnest.
From Lenfar?
So they are basically requesting to be escorted from Lenfar to Birchnest, and because this is the point they wish to end up at, the mission has been redirected here, so that anybody who is from Birchnest that would be happy to escort an individual from another island to this town can do so.
Are there any further details on it?
There are not. You notice at the bottom of the posting, and I'm going to use Hugmug's investigation here. Hugmug, you notice at the bottom of the posting that the actual, for any further details of the mission would need to be discussed with the mission poster, and it gives a rough idea of where they would be located.
This seems suspicious.
Does it?
Well, well, it could be good. We could make a little extra money on the side.
But Lenfar is a very long way away.
Oh, I don't know.
Roll me a history check, both of you. I guess Florian as well, because I imagine Florian's come over as well. But
Yeah, sure. Ooh, big number. Let me check what it is on my.
the most intelligent person rolls a number.
Well,
Ooh, 12.
Three.
Hugmug?
11.
11.
21.
Hugmug is clueless.
Okay, so Hugmug and Marcel, you have no idea where Lenfar actually is. Florian, you are aware that there is an entire continent. It's on an entirely different continent from you, and it is quite the distance.
Yeah, Lenfar is in Vynexian, so.
Lenfar is far.
Mhm.
That was a funny joke, Florian. You should have laughed.
Oh, haha.
I don't think you.
Hold up. So is that where the Sleeping Wolves Guild is?
You could. And
The one that this emblem belongs to?
the thought occurs to you that you could ask about the reception desk.
Oh, does occur to me. Might pursue that thought.
Maybe. Maybe not. You never know.
Oh,
Maybe it doesn't. Maybe I do a backflip out the window.
Hey,
Wait a minute.
I'm giving you small suggestions and guidance as to what I presume your character would think logically. You're welcome to pursue that, or you're welcome to go and try and find a druid to try and sell horse crack. I don't know. I have no control over what you do.
I mean, I'd like to learn more about this horse track.
Sounds like we should go to the help desk.
So, who's going over to the help desk?
I am.
Me.
There
Yeah.
we go.
Million.
Okay,
Let's go. The whole
so
gang.
the three of you go over to the help desk. You notice that Xavier has taken an interest in what is on the billboards. But it doesn't really seem like he's going to be causing any havoc, so
Yeah, he's probably just looking for mission postings that have been given to
yeah.
his friend.
So you go to the help desk, and you find there is a rather graceful and elegant looking woman. She has brown eyes, white hair, and olive-colored skin. And she looks up at you. Ah, greetings. Can I help you?
Hello.
Hello.
We are in need of information.
Oh?
Yes.
Might I take one of your names?
Hello, I am Marcel Ramses.
I'm Hogmog.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you both. And you said Ramsay, right? Are you
Yeah.
are you in any way affiliated with the Ramsay Inn on in Runswick?
Excuse me?
Oh, pardon me.
Oh, you
It's,
didn't tell me you had an inn named after you.
So, the rest of you are gonna have to fill in for this interaction, because Marcel is in stunned silence at what he just heard.
Oh, whoops. Anyway, sir, it's a Hugmog, yes?
Yes.
What information are you seeking?
Oh, we are looking for an for our matron. She went missing. Because we got attacked by some guys. It was very traumatizing, and they burned our house down. And now our matron is missing, and I'm Mrs. Matron, and now we're trying to find her.
And she's listening
And
and
here's
very
the
softly
symbol.
nodding.
So you can take it off me.
So are you taking the pendant off of
Not
Marcel?
taking it off him, but just like
It's just
pointing
sort
at
of
it.
like
Just like
dangling in
that's
my
the
hands
symbol.
while I'm
So
in thought.
and she ponders for a moment. So, if I'm to understand correctly, your home has been attacked and set ablaze, and you
Yes.
believe that the people that are involved with that are the same ones that use that symbol. Is that what I'm to understand?
Yes.
Which
Well-
emblem is being shown right now?
Well, there's only one emblem you physically have access
Yes,
to.
we threw the other ones away, didn't we? Okay,
Yes.
so
She looks
Well,
at you.
no, it's not that they weren't. They probably weren't the ones that attacked the home. It's just we found it. We found this in her possession. She used to be an adventurer, so we think maybe they might have information
She ponders
or
for
like
a moment.
something about them could help us.
And could I take your name as well? Oh, sorry.
Oh, I'm Florian. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. So you are looking to you are seeking contact with the bearer, with the organization this emblem is connected to. Yes.
Oh, also, if you know about, was it the Order of the Crystal?
that is the one, yes.
Roll insight.
Yes.
Marcel
Okay,
snaps out
cool.
of his trance.
Oh right, I have -2 on insight. I love that. 9.
You notice that the color drains from her face ever so slightly at the mention of the Order of the Crystal. Ah, I see. Well, there's two ways that I can sort this for you. I could potentially try and organize an escort mission for you, or she ponders for a minute. Or I could potentially try and get in touch with the organization, but unfortunately I can't really. There's not really a whole lot that I, as a member of the Sky Reavers, can really disclose.
Have you seen anyone matching the description of Order of the Crystal come through here? We're trying to track her down. And basically any prisoner escorts have come through here. Or
Well,
any overly large convoys?
I certainly hope not. This city's under our jurisdiction. It's well protected. We haven't had. Do you have any sort of description as to what this transport may have had? And you notice that there is a very high degree
A
of
large
alertness.
anti-magic box of some kind. Hang on, history check.
Didn't the mayor mention it was like magical container or something?
Yes.
That's what anti-magic.
Anti-magic crate.
Right, anti-magic crate.
It had just recently had a wheel repaired. So that would be quite obvious. Shiny. Maybe doesn't match the rest of them.
Oh shit. Yes. She gets up from her chair.
You okay, ma'am?
I'm alright, yes. And you notice that as she stands, even her outfit itself is very sleek, very elegant, and has it's very angular in design. Right, well, quite frankly, the three of you will need to come with me.
Okay.
So if you wouldn't mind
Do we
following.
get to know why?
And she looks at you. Quite frankly, I'm not at liberty to discuss. However, what you have brought to the table is quite troubling, and I must have you speak with another member of our guild.
Okay.
Okay.
So if you have anybody else who is here in this waiting room, please bring them with.
Xavier!
What?
You might have a lead. You are required.
And Xavier comes over. Ugh, what?
This nice lady is taking us to see someone else in the guild. We've told her about everything that's happening, and yes, just come with.
Okay. I guess. Wonderful. Now, if I could lead you down here, please follow me. And she has quite the brisk walk to her. She has to stop multiple times for you to be able to catch up with her.
Did you have like a name tag?
She does not.
Excuse me, miss, what's your name?
My name is Anilla. Anilla Draftini. Do you need me to write it down for you?
Sure.
Yes.
I already have, but let's see if I'm right.
There you go.
Play the Are We Getting Kidnapped?
We're close.
That is her name.
I put 2 L's. Like vanilla.
Yeah. Well,
Damn
and she takes you through to another room where there is a slightly shorter, but rather heavily built aerialite male. Now, if you could please wait here. The gentleman will discuss with you. And she exchanges looks with the aerialite man. Enough that it concerns you just a little bit. Before she leaves, leaving you in the presence of this man.
Hello, I am myself. We have come to seek your help.
Hi, I'm Hogmog.
It is a pleasure to meet you. And
Marcel, do you want to tell this nice man what you told Marcel? Sorry, Hot Rod, would you like to tell this nice
Marcel?
man what you told the nice lady?
Yeah, so, our house burned down and was raided, some, a couple days ago, and we had, and they took our matron, and, we found this symbol. It was connected to her, and we miss her, and we need to get her back, and she's missing.
He ponders for a moment
And,
and looks you dead in the
and,
eyes.
oh,
Right, well, I suppose I should introduce myself. My name is Agalus.
Hello, I am Marcel.
I do believe you have already mentioned this.
Have I? Oh, sorry.
I'm Hogwarts.
Florian and Xavier.
The
Hi.
Well, quite simply put, the organization that you're searching for, I need to know what the name of your matron is.
Helga?
What's her last name?
Have you ever actually asked her what her last name
I
is?
must know what her last name is.
Do you want to roll a history check to see if you remember what her last name is?
Oops.
Oh no.
That's where you start forgetting your matron's own name.
15?
Her last name is Petunius, like Petunia the flower.
Her name is Helga Petunius. We believe she's been taken by the Order of the Crystal.
There is a very clear sign of recognition on the Birdman's face. Ah, I see. Well, and where are you traveling currently?
We're not entirely sure. We're just trying to work out where the most likely route of travel for them is. Try and catch.
Let me rephrase myself.
I didn't plan.
You don't have a plan.
Well, we came here because the mayor of Wormwood knew that some people were coming through that were involved with an anti-magic crate, and they were coming to here, so we came here to investigate.
As far as I'm aware, we have had nothing of the sort come through the city. There was a collection of people that were making their way around the outside of the city about a day ago, maybe two.
Did they have one damaged? Oh, sorry, one fresh wheel that's very shiny?
I could not tell you personally. I was flying several hundred feet overhead.
Marcel takes in this person.
You are looking down on. He is 5'5".
5'5".
He is shorter than you.
Huh.
The only person he is taller than is Florian. By like a foot and a
cool.
bit.
Yeah. 1.5 feet. I think exactly.
One day Florian is going to find someone who is shorter than him, and he's going to lord it over him.
Oh, 100%. Anyway. Simply put, we can put you in touch. We can send you to the place where this organization is, but I don't know if you're going to get much information. Myself and the lovely woman that you met previously, Anilla, we are both ex-members of that guild.
There's some sort of like non-disclosure thing for ex-members. Don't discuss what you've done, or
She may have been an off-book member, a mercenary for hire, worked alongside the guild, but is not officially a member of the guild. That is the only thing I can assume. I have never in my time there ever worked with a woman by the name of Helga Petunius. That would likely be something that is correlated with the guild masters directly.
history check.
Can we? Oh, I was
going
gonna say, can we insight to see if he's lying?
Okay.
Yeah, you can roll insight.
You go ahead.
Whilst you're rolling insight, Marcel, what were you?
There's a history check for when we were reading Helga's diary.
Mm-hmm.
Particularly a line stood out was, "We will deny your existence."
Yes,
Correct?
that is a correct recollection. You also have the diary on Hugmug at the moment in his bag.
Okay.
Yes.
What's your insight check?
Unnatural 20.
He is being completely honest.
Oh.
Does that mean it's a dead end?
Well, no. Simply put, it means that that they are intervening with whatever underbelly plans or underbelly network that the guild has. Simply put, I think your best track to follow would be to go to this guild and to speak with either one of the guild members or the guild masters of that particular location.
Okay.
They may be able to provide you with some degree of understanding as to what.
Can you let them know of our arrival?
We cannot. Unfortunately,
Oh.
and if you are convinced that the Order of the Crystal, and he points to the chart on the wall of all of the major religions on the globe, and sitting at the top of that is the very familiar symbol of the Order of the Crystal. An organization created to directly worship one of the creation twins.
We are certain she was kidnapped by Archbishop Lutz.
He rolls an insight check to see if you're lying. Rolling a nice 69.
Wait, rolling a. Oh, okay.
Roll to find out tell the truth.
And
I was like,
he realizes you are telling the truth. Well, simply put, then us sending a message through will not be helpful. They will catch that message and immediately pincer you before you get there. So, I ask you, is there any sort of support that we, as a guild, can offer you, since we cannot directly assist in any sort of mission sense? Makes sense where
Travel, maybe?
Do you keep track of the supply lines, but the sort of routes that this organization takes, such that we may be able to work out where they're going?
Unfortunately, because they are a religious organization, us keeping details on things like that is considered a threat to the organization directly.
Oh, you don't know anything.
Well, there is only so much information we are allowed. Which is why I would recommend going and talking with the operator of that guild that you have the emblem of. Simply put,
how far is that?
it's on the island of Girathina. Just up the road, from the town center of Len.
The better question is, what sort of services are you able to and willing to offer?
Can you give us travel?
He ponders for a moment.
That's a good point, Abby.
I suppose, yes, that travel could be organized. And I presume that you wanted it paid for as well.
Yes, please.
Yes.
He nods, slowly. Of course. And is there anything else that you would be expecting from us?
I mean, this is probably...
Do you have any more information you could tell us about the Order of the Crystal?
It depends on how much time you have.
All the time in the world.
Simply put, the Order of the Crystal is an organization that participates in the religious worship of Crystalus, one of the creation twins. They are quite a large church. Their biggest church happens to be on the island of Canaria, in their capital city of Azuria. It's where the main church they have exists. Unless you want me to tell you about their religious practices, but I doubt that is anything of real importance to your mission.
So once they get off of this continent, they'll probably be heading to Canavia.
He nods. That would be the most likely assumption, yes.
Do you know anything about Archbishop Lux?
Not personally, no. However, I am aware that the Guildmaster of the Sleeping Wolves has personally travelled with the man at some point in time, so he may be your best source of information. Though I would definitely arrive there with some sort of gift. I'd recommend dark chocolate. He can have quite the fiery temperament.
Oh, okay.
Is there any possibility of funding? We have no money to get to where we want to go. Any sort of charity program?
Now that I can deal with.
And his eyes light up.
What do you need?
Money, food,
A suitable gift?
the armor, I guess? Things to help us survive and any monsters we may have to fight. I don't know. This is all new to me, sir.
He ponders for a moment. And where are you currently staying? In the city.
We have not yet worked that out. We literally just got here.
I see. Well,
Half of our group is split off trying to find an inn to stay at.
if you come back, or send somebody back here later to notify us of your location, we will have one of our guild members keeping a consistent eye on your safety.
Thank you.
Oh, so appreciative. Thank you.
And you'll be wanting transport. Okay. And he writes
Yes,
down
please.
like a list of things. So we can pay for an airship ticket one way to get to the city of Lenfar, if you can get to Harkvale.
Hogmug's eyes are like little hearts.
As much as I would like to get you access directly from Birchnest, I imagine that you would want to go to Harkvale first, just in case you can catch them in the act, as it were.
Yes, indeed.
Yes,
So
they
we
have
shall-
at least a day or two head start, but
Well,
if they
we
break
can
down,
always-
we might be.
Yes. Their wheel did look quite rickety, as and when they were going around the city. Well, you see, the city itself is surrounded in a small settlement of rocks to make the path extra rocky and to discourage certain monsters from trying to nest nearby. So I will organize a one-way airship ticket for all of you. How many of you are there?
Did they stop at all? Town?
No.
No.
Else they would have been on the trade route.
Fair enough.
How many of your group are there?
Dorian, Hogmug, Marcel, Doria, Mocha, Mason, Xavier. Seven.
Alright, I shall organize an airship ticket for the 7 of you from Harkvale going to Lenfar. And because we are unfortunately unable to do anything for you, I will make it a first-class ticket.
Thank you.
Oh,
Is there anything
Thank you.
you want in return? The last person who helped us wanted errands done for him, so
Now, why would I ask that?
I don't know. People aren't in the habit of giving things away for free.
And Xavier has a wicked grin on his face. I might want something out of this. In particular, do you have any information on a gentleman named Zach Tao? I would like to know of his whereabouts. We'll speak with him. And the Aerolite man just shakes his head at him. Unfortunately, no. We do not have any sort of information on other members of other guilds. We have the information on the Sky Reavers, but little more. No, that is disappointing. That is all I was going to ask. And the Egalis looks at you all. Is there anything else that we can offer? We can try and get some armor organized for you, should you want some. If you need additional funding, then I can go and make contact with with our guild master to see what is going on with our charity funds. See if we can provide you with any money.
All of the things, please.
You are too kind.
Not.
If you can think of anything else that you require from the guild, then please let us know. Otherwise, there is little more that we can do for you right now.
I'll certainly get thinking. Thank you
I'm
very much for your
very
hospitality.
grateful.
That's perfectly fine. In fact, if you have a particular location that you're aiming to stay at, then you're more than welcome to ask Anilla to escort you to your lodgings. I'm sure she would appreciate being away from the desk for a few minutes.
Anywhere with a bed and breakfast.
I mean, have the other half of our group secured us anything yet?
I cannot tell you that because they are not within your vicinity. But
What
you
is the time?
The time? You have about 15 minutes before you're supposed to re-meet and
Okay.
reconvene.
Well, Marcel will tell her where we are reconvening.
Mhm.
At which point it should be known where we're going to be staying.
Okay.
So we can escort at least that far.
Okay. And so you end up leaving, as Agalus politely asks you to leave the room. And you end up heading towards your rendezvous point. Takes you a little while to get there, but you meet back up with Mason, who does not have Scoria or Mocha with him. There you guys are. I left the ladies back at the inn.
Oh, you found one. Fantastic.
Yeah. What did you expect? I'm the best looker around. I found it.
Well, you certainly are quite the looker.
That makes him blush. Visibly blush. Hey, come on, that's not fair.
Well, this lovely lady here is going to escort us to our lodgings. So,
Yes.
so there are they.
And you notice one additional thing that you did not notice about her, about what she is wearing up until this point, and it is the vicious-looking rapier sheathed at her waist. Yes, I have been requested to assist you in returning to your lodgings safely. After I have confirmed that the area is safe, I will keep a rough eye on what is occurring around.
Thank you very much. Oh, rapier too. And Marcel starts staring at the sword. Is there anything of note about it?
It has a trigger
Ooh.
built into the handguard.
Am I familiar with this sort of design?
Nope.
Metal soldiers we used to make?
Nope.
No.
You are not
Okay.
familiar with this. This is completely new to you.
Why does it have a trigger? It's a sword, no?
Yes, it is a sword. Now, are we?
Okay.
Am I leading you to your lodgings or no?
Yes.
Well, then let us make haste. Very much of a talker, is she?
He's on duty.
Anyway, follow me. And he starts leading the way, looking quite cheerful.
Proxy Mobile's
Yeah.
unlimited social media is great.
Nope. Fucking adverts every time. I just want backing audio without YouTube adverts. Please. Fucking. Anyway. You know, screw this. I'm going back to my other audio that has no fucking ads in it. Anyway. Bloody thing. So you end up going back to the building. And it's this very nice looking rustic log cabin type building. It's almost giving like secluded cabin in the woods vibes.
Is it secluded?
It's towards the outskirts of the city.
Okay.
It's within about half an hour's walk of where the cart was parked up. Now I've gotten rooms for everybody, but I haven't distributed out who's where.
Okay.
So you got me, Xavier, you three. So there's what? 6 of us? No, 5. 5 of us. And once again, as Mima told me, treat the ladies well. They've gotten a slightly, or I guess, luxury room. So we can split it up into two, a 2 and a 3, or a 2, 2 and a 1. Depends what you guys are thinking.
I don't mind. Florian, do you want to share a room?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll share a room with you.
So you and Xavier, or just you two, and then us three, and I don't know.
Okay.
So there are 2 rooms behind you. All three of these rooms are adjacent to one another. So the room that Scoria and Mocha are in, and then there is Mason holds out 2 door keys and gives one to Florian. So Florian and Hugmug, you two are going into a room.
Mm-hmm.
Are you taking Marcel in with you, or are you betraying him and leaving him to his fate?
Marcel, do you want to go with us or do you want to go with them?
Shit.
You want to go? You don't
I'll
want
be
to
going
come
with
with us.
Florian
You
and
want to
Hugmug.
cuddle with your boyfriend.
Marcel will be going with Florian. Hugmug.
The moment that you refer to Marcel as Mason's boyfriend, or the word boyfriend comes out, Mason's face goes bright fucking red. And he just goes very quiet.
I think the poor guy has had enough Marcel for one.
No.
Oh, come on, we all know your boyfriend.
So I was trying to roll a d6 there, whether it was going to be which way I was going to go, and I kept rolling 3s. So it was like split down the middle. So I'll be going with Florian and Hugmug.
Okay. And so you end up going into the room. It's quite nice. It kind of gives you a similar feeling to your home with Helga, minus the plants. It's quite nice. It's very rustic, sort of rough wood textures.
Is there a window?
There is.
Marcel's going to... Is there curtains?
Yes.
He's going to throw open the curtains, and then get one of these little toy soldiers out of his bag and put it up as a little window decoration. Make it feel a bit more like home.
And so you do so, and you notice the curtains are quite heavy. It takes a little bit of force to prise them apart, as they seem to have some sort of magnetic strip down the middle of them. So that they stay closed during... It's essentially like the curtain version of blackout blinds.
Oh, I'd kill for that.
You can hear some very loud debating in the other room between Mason and Xavier. But it sounds like one of them is being very defensive. And this happens after about 5-10 minutes of you guys settling into the room and getting comfortable.
We're probably trying to decide who gets top bunk.
You notice there are no bunks. They are
No!
single beds.
Oh. Lauren, should we bunk the beds?
Probably wishing they had a boyfriend. Whoa.
Okay, what is your problem?
Oh, nothing. Just a little
These beds
funny,
look
you
bunkable.
know.
The beds look bunkable.
No.
Okay.
Even
That was a very assertive no.
No.
oh no,
No.
because simply put, the beds are made out of a very heavy-duty wood, and the moment you go over to like test the bunkability of these beds, you can't lift it off the floor, and that's when you notice that there are L-shaped frames in the chair legs, in the legs of the bed. These beds are bolted to the floor.
Where do they think the beds are going?
In case someone steals the beds.
See,
Walk out with
there
the
is something
beds.
I could say here, but I'm going to choose not to for the sake of being PG.
Oh, the beds had a throw. Okay, well, my mind immediately went to stealing them.
They have to be
I mean,
reinforced.
yeah, that's one of the two purposes. It's also like you notice
In
on the
case someone
wall.
tries to bunk them.
Yeah, you notice on the wall that they have put up a basic like a sign to kindly ask you not to try and bunk the beds, but also to not rock back and forth in them as they've had previously, where people have been like. It's not where I was going with that, but you know what? Screw it. Where they had a couple of people staying here that tried to basically slide these beds back and forth to annoy the people downstairs. So making that horrible wood on wood dragging noise, like that horrible creaking noise, to annoy the people downstairs. So, and you do notice there are a couple of newspapers, like old newspapers they've left on like a little coffee table in here, where somebody had there was a big news story where somebody had taken a bed from one of these inns and turned it into a sled.
That was a big story.
This is the most like exciting bed in space.
I was going to say that stealing of beds is probably a lot more common in this world since you can shrink things down. You could just shrink it down, stick it in your bag, walk off with it.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
So there is a very polite notice to not steal the beds. And there does appear to be...
Does not say anything about the soap.
There is actually something about the soap. It says that it is free to take so long as you make mention of what cleaning products you have taken from the bathrooms and bathing spaces, so they are able to replace them before the next guests check in.
Marcel's immediately going to go rooting through the cleaning products. See what's there.
And so you start rifling through. There's a whole bunch of different shampoos, conditioners,
Anything that would be
soap
well suited
bars.
to a Mesian?
Roll an investigation check.
Do they have like specific fur conditioners and like
Yes.
normal hair conditioners?
Oh, yes,
Yes,
they
they
do.
Wonderful, I love that.
There are the best part
Inclusive.
is there is a certain organization that makes them rhyme of sorts.
And take a wild guess who that organization could be.
No
I
idea.
don't know.
No idea.
Say it with me, kids. Anyway, 16.
16. You find a bottle of conditioner called Bomesian Bliss that has been
Ooh.
that has been shipped directly from the capital city itself.
Ooh.
So I got love that my chair just did the loudest fucking creak there. Lean back and just.
Like,
Brain cells, please. There is. You notice there are a large number of different articles. Here there are different books, there are different bits and pieces, and it sounds like the conversation in the room across has decreased in its intensity. They are no longer being rowdy and shouting at one another.
what's the bathroom like?
The bathroom is quite spacious.
Is there a bath?
Yes.
Yes.
You also notice that it is an ensuite,
Ooh.
and it's quite a deep bath.
Gloria, we're going to have to get you some armbands so you don't drown in the bath. Quite deep.
I can swim.
You notice that there is that the bath itself is broken up into several sections. There are multiple raised little platforms in the bottom of the bath.
It's like a swimming pool. It has a shallow end and a deep end.
Yes, because they do not have any way of realistically predicting the height and sizes of their customers. Just based alone on your group, the smallest of you is 3'11", the tallest of you is 8 foot.
I'm a big boy.
You are a big boy.
I'm
We
pretty
love
sure
big boys.
Hogmug is 7 foot something, isn't he? I might be
Yeah, Hugmug isn't the tallest.
I mean, technically speaking, Hogmug is the tallest. You've just got two very large gentlemen.
Yeah,
that come
but the
with you.
NPCs are just also very tall.
I rolled dice for them, and my dice were like, yes, we must make them large. And then I rolled 3 nat 1s when I needed it. Anyway. So, what are you going to do now that you are here?
I would like to. Oh, Marcy,
It's adorable! What is it?
do you? The woman earlier mentioned an inn, and you went really quiet. What was it?
Roll a history check to see if you can actually remember if your brain has blotted it out.
History. That is a 22.
You remember, your brain didn't shut off to the point where it repressed it.
See, Ramza Inn. What's my last name, Florian?
Is it Ramsar?
It is.
Wow.
I was quite expecting that.
I never really think about last names.
I don't know mine.
I was initially found after as I said earlier, after a caravan got caught in a storm. Supposedly everybody but me died, and that's why the matron found me. But that is making me think that maybe I was not the only survivor. Or it could be a completely different, I don't know. But how common is the surname
Maybe your
Ramsay?
cousin.
We could go visit.
Would you like to have a look at some of the articles here? As you realise that a lot of the old articles they've left here are news stories from years past. So there is a possibility you may be able to find something in relation to your situation.
It's a long shot, but worth trying.
It's a long shot. I'm gonna roll see if there's actually something there.
Florian, can you help me? I can't seem to find anything.
Okay.
Because I
What was it?
I rolled a
Investigation?
5.
Yes.
I rolled a 10 total.
Investigation. Dropped it.
Well,
I'm very sorry about this. 6.
the two of you actually find something. Your DC, I rolled it, was 5. So you both succeed. As you both start digging through, and you find 2 big articles of note. One, that about a month ago, a rather generous donation was made to the Ramsar Inn, and they have begun a full-scale renovation of the building. And then a much, much, much older document. It's like an old news story. You notice the age of it because the paper itself is a little bit brittle, and it's about 19 years ago of a tragic storm that killed all members of a traveling caravan that was going around promoting the Ramsar Inn and was looking for new settling places. There were no survivors. And underneath is an excerpt from the father of from the father of this traveling husband and wife, talking about how sad he is to have lost his family, losing his daughter, and grieving the fact that she was with child, both pregnant and taking her youngest with him, or with her, sorry. So
Where
his
does it
grandson
say this storm was?
on the island of Varnexian,
Right.
as they were looking at settling up a new place on the island of Varnexian, as it has quite a lot of travel, and shelter is often a thing that is well sought after due to the unpredictable rainstorms, windstorms, and blizzards
Shit
during the
weather.
late months. Yeah, basically shit weather, yeah.
Oh my god. You know what this means for you?
What is it?
I may have family still.
What?
And he shows the articles.
Oh, oh my goodness. Oh,
I also did not know I had
Marcel, you're not alone.
And you notice that they're like, Marcel, a thought goes through your mind that maybe this is just a big coincidence. Because I mean, yeah, okay, the date line, like the rough year span lines up, and everything seems like it's exact. But the thing that really hits home for you is when you look at the next page, and it's quite an older gentleman with ginger hair, grey fur, amber-colored eyes. It looks like the guy looks like an ancient version of yourself.
Oh my god.
This is in reference to the renovation document.
And Marcel just sort of like touches his hand to the paper. That must be my grandfather?
Wow.
Do you want to go see him tomorrow?
Is it local?
It is not.
Oh.
As you notice that the article mentions a place called Runswick.
I have no idea what that is.
Would you like to make let's have a think.
Can I get my map out?
You can. You notice the map itself is a map of Varnexian. The city of Brunswick is nowhere on the island.
How's it
Maybe
Brunswick
Xavier?
or Brunswick?
Runswick. Runswick. Brunswick. It is not on this island.
Can I make a history check or a...
Marcel gets up and leaves the room
Oh, okay.
and goes next door
To
to Xavier and Mason's room.
okay. Meanwhile, Florian, roll a history
Three.
check.
Yippee.
Imagine that
Big
with your
number.
study of the
Natural
stars.
20.
Fuck yeah.
Natural 20. So
So-
24 total.
There's 23 total.
24 total.
24. Okay. You are aware that with your study of the stars, Helga had to show you a lot of the map of the world, and you can recall specifically seeing the name Brunswick from the island of Guayaden. It is a
The island of...
write it down.
Can you spell that?
Guayaden. And you were aware that you remember pointing this out to Helga as a little kid, because you weren't sure how a city, mostly isolated on its own in the middle of a mountain range, would have people in it. And she taught you about how their entire trade is working with interplanar magic, so being able to transport between different planes of existence. And that was part of what sparked your fascination with astromancy, as that itself was as you were taught about the astral dream being its own plane of galaxies and stars. Meanwhile, Marcel, you've gone into the other room.
Mm-hmm. And I've taken one of the articles with me.
Okay, which one?
The one with the ancient-looking version of me.
So the recent renovations one.
Yes.
Okay. So you end up.
Knock, 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 knock.
The door opens, and you are met with Mason's face. Well, hey there.
Hello. I need to speak to you and Xavier.
Okay.
Very important.
You're let in. The door is closed behind you. What's up?
Well,
And you look like you've seen the ghost.
I sort of have. And he basically like shows the article on the page with a picture of basically old him.
Whoa, that's a really cool drawing.
It is not a drawing.
What?
It is the owner of the Ramsar Inn
Mason
in
looks.
Brunswick.
Mason looks kind of stumped, as he's not quite put two and two together yet. But you notice that Xavier is very familiar with this name. Oh, I've been there once or twice. Wouldn't recommend going there unless you're going via a different plane. It's like a death. Those tunnels are like a death trap, honestly. But why are you interested in this place?
Because I think that man is my grandfather.
Oh, that's it's like the name's just on his tongue. So I have to actually remember his name as well, because yeah, it's on it.
My name is Marcel Ramsar, and he's pointing at the Ramsar Inn sign.
I can see it. You don't need to keep pointing at it. What's his name? What's his name? Oh, you're talking back. That's Dalius. Dalius Ramsar. It's quite the He's quite the old man. Must be nice that somebody has finally paid attention to his inn. That thing was in disrepair the last time I saw it.
Well, maybe after this whole thing is over, I can pay him a visit.
Are you okay? You seem perturbed.
Well, I was under the impression I did not have any family until this point. I was found in the burning and broken wreckage of a caravan.
Whoa, that's kind of metal. Wait, sorry, that's probably not helping.
It is okay. And to my understanding, everybody died. and that
Oh,
was
right.
supposed to be my entire family.
That's terrible.
I guess he was not on it.
That's a good thing, right?
Yes, it is. But
What is it that what is it that your normal people do? Do you want a hug? I believe that's what it's what it what your what is often after during times
yes,
of emotional.
yes, I would like that. Yes, I'd like a hug.
Okay. And Xavier basically crouches down and gives you a hug. It is okay. Shit happens. And that is where I'm going to end off, as we have reached the end of our session time. So we'll catch you all next week. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba.
Bye.
Bye bye.